Welcome to Banana Camper. This is a bit of an unusual video. I'm going to talk about all the improvements that I have done in my caravan since I bought it in October 2020. I've done since then 18 trips. For most of them are in Gauteng or in the surroundings of Johannesburg, but also been to the coast. I've been to Kruger National Park. Sprite caravans are quite popular. If you go to any campsite, you probably will find one or many of them. In fact, during my first trip to Kruger National Park, very first trip with this caravan, so I was driving to White River, and I was noticing that every time that I was indicating, the noise that typically sounds when you indicate, there's tick tick tick, is like a 1 hertz kind of sound frequency. It was like a 2 hertz, like tick 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 tick. And I was wondering what was happening, and eventually both sides. We started with one side and then the other side as well. Turns out that the LED lights, the tail lights of the caravan, they drain so little current from the car that the car actually gets confused and thinks that the light bulbs are burned or are damaged. So that's why the car makes that sound. And to fix that, I had to buy an adapter. In my case, I drive a Ford Everest. I bought it from Ford. It was not expensive. It was around 600 rand or something around that, and that solved the problem. So this is the very first improvement that I would like to talk about. The second improvement that I want to mention here is the sealing of the nose door. So since I bought it, I noticed that every time that I either wash the caravan or there is a light rain, it falls water in the nose compartment. Of course, if I have the travel blanket in there, it doesn't rain inside, but if the travel blanket is not there, then the water was falling there. So I just bought this rubber, like with a tape that is that can stick to the borders of the nose door and stick it in there. So that actually, it looks like solved the problem. I've done this recently, and so far I haven't got any water in there. As you could see on the nose of my caravan, there is a air conditioning that was there already. I didn't fit it myself, so I bought the caravan like that. And I must say that we didn't use that a lot. I've used the AC sometimes when my son wanted to sleep in the caravan during the day, and at night when it was very cold at one point at the Drakensberg and Halanati, I had to turn it on just to warm up the caravan. But other than that, we don't use that very much, and I think I can live without that. It's not something that is a must-have in the caravan. As you could see in the nose, the gas bottle is in there, and the gas pipe runs from the stove to the gas bottle. Originally, it was not like that. You had to all the time remove the bottle, put it by the stove and connect them. So I want that to be more practical, and therefore I replaced that pipe and put another one that runs straight to the nose. Also in the nose, you could see all my tools that are hanging in there. I also did that to have them more organized and make sure that I find them all, easier, especially when you're in a rush or it's dark or it's raining, whatever the case might be. Another improvement that I've done was to install the stabilizer, a Tando stabilizer. I never thought about that. I thought that it was just fine to have the caravan connected to the car. But my neighbor here, he told me, no, use this and it's gonna make your towing much more safer. And in fact, I bought it secondhand from my neighbor. And I must say it makes a huge difference. When I had my first trip to Kruger National Park, I didn't have the stabilizer, but now, using the stabilizer in loading the caravan correctly make it very stable, so I don't have any problem whatsoever in all these trips that I had, and never ever had a single problem of sway or something like that. So definitely I recommend you to install a stabilizer. The last improvement on the outside that I wanted to talk about is the laser awning. That was my actually the last improvement, is to buy that awning. It stays on the outside as per the normal rally tent, but the beauty of that one is that it's really easy to set up. I'll probably will do a review on that awning once I use that more. I just used once so far, but the big thing about it is that it only has got like only 2 poles, only 2 ropes, instead of the 11 ropes that I had in my traditional rally tent that came standard with the Caravan. So again, definitely recommend. I must say it doesn't work very well when it's raining, but apart from that, it's very practical and something that you may consider for your van as well. Okay, so now let's take a look on the inside of the Caravan. So the first improvement that I want to talk about is the power plugs by the bed head. So there was no power plugs there, so for us to charge our phones at night was always a problem, because the other one is by the sink. So always getting wet, and kids brushing their teeth there. So we wanted that power plug there, which works very well. Also recommend. I don't know why it was not there by default to start off with. So it's something maybe the manufacturer can look at in installing a power plug there by default. Okay. The second improvement inside the Caravan is that I want to talk about is on the cupboards. In the cupboard, firstly, I removed one of the hangers that it had a cross to put like clothes in a hanger. We don't really use that, so instead of that I put like a shelf, as more like a piece of wood, where we could put light things like socks and shorts, this type of things. And I also installed the lights on the inside, because at night was always a challenge to see inside the cup. There is a small switch on the door, so every time that you open the door, it turns it on. If you don't want to use that mechanical switch, you can buy from Leroy Merlin. There are some LED lights with a movement sensor that can also work, but I already had that at home, so I used that one. So the next improvement on the inside, I want to show you this gas shocks to lift the bed. Originally there was just a hinge or nothing to keep it in place. I had to put like a stick from the top to the bottom to hold it in place. It was working, but my experience with these gas shocks is just a way better. Definitely recommend. It's definitely something that you should do to make your day-to-day inside the Caravan better.
I found the standard mattress that came with the Caravan a bit too hard, so I decided to buy this extra padding, as you can see on the screen, to make it more softer, and it worked very well. I really recommend, if you feel that your mattress is too hard, rather buy this extra cushioning than replacing the whole mattress. It works very well.
Because of the air conditioning, the spare wheel could not fit in the nose as it was originally there. So it was sitting inside the Caravan. I never knew what to do with that. Sometimes I was carrying that in my car, sometimes it was under the bed, but it was getting on the way. So I found this spare wheel bracket that allows me to fit the spare wheel underneath the Caravan. And that made a lot of difference, in the sense that I have a lot more space in the Caravan, and that spare wheel is no longer on the way. it creates a problem in case I need to remove that spare wheel on the road, because to access that and go underneath the caravan and lock it and get the spare wheel out may be a problem.
Together with this spare wheel bracket, there is this pipe where you can pump and calibrate the spare wheel, so very handy. So it becomes very easy to check the pressure on the spare wheel using this pipe.
And my last improvement that I want to talk about is on the window ceiling. When we first got the caravan, as we bought it, and we started cleaning it, we removed all the curtains and was cleaning the caravan, we noticed that on that rubber around the window was pretty dirty. And in fact, even when you close the caravan with all the latches, there doesn't seal properly. There is always a small gap, especially on top. I believe this is kind of a project error. Looking at the way it is being built, you can clearly see that there is a gap that never closes 100%. So I bought this kind of a rubber, the same one that I used to seal the nose of the caravan. So I sticked it all around all the windows. Only on the front window I didn't use that, because of the way the wind comes doesn't really require that to be 100% sealed. So, but all the other windows I did that and never ever had a problem. There is no more dust or wind coming inside the caravan. Okay? So you may be asking, is this caravan good value for money? Listen, when I was about to buy this caravan, I tried to find information on the web, and there is not much information about this caravan, like a review type of thing. Most of my information was talking to other campers in the campsite. So I was going there, talking to them and asking how good or bad the caravan is. And I must say, I decided that the factor that pointed me to this caravan was first the outside kitchen, okay, and secondly it was within my budget, okay. So that is the two factors that took me that led me to this caravan. There are other models like Penta, Gypsies, and other ones. They're also good, but of course, there are some downsides as well. So I definitely recommend for you to buy if you're considering buying that. I have my caravan. I'm not thinking of selling it for now. One downside, though, is not only of my caravan, but other caravans as well, is the ground clearance is not great. And even sometimes when you go through speed bumps, sometimes at the back of the caravan it hits, okay. So that's, you have to be aware of. This is a road caravan. Don't try to take it into gravel roads, etc. It's not gonna fly. And in order to improve that, there is one more improvement here. I managed to lift the suspension by 4 centimeters. It was done at Loftus Caravan, and they installed some spacers, and that managed to lift the caravan by 4 centimeters on the axle, which I must say made quite a difference, big difference. It became a lot more easier to tow through especially when you go to a dip or you drive in a road, there is a ramp. That 4 centimeters higher made a lot of a difference. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to chat about this video or about caravan in general, just post a comment and I'll come back to you. And don't forget, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and there you go. See you soon.